Hello and welcome to Laurindalandia. Today I'm going to do a reading about what will you be famous for. You can choose your pile by following your intuition. It can be the pile that you're the most visually attracted to, or you can be even asking your mind, what is the pile for me? I do personal readings, they are super affordable, and then my first link in the description. Hello pile 1. So you chose this card that says never give up. What you'll be famous for is by not giving up on something. Your journey to fame might not be easy. You might have a dream, a goal, something you want to achieve that feels impossible, that people will doubt. Maybe this is something really innovative or foreign. This is probably something that has never been done before. And this is something that is almost feels not humanly possible. Like this is so grand that feels impossible. And you are going to achieve it by your resilience, by not giving up on it. Like in this card, I'm kind of getting the pyramids. You know, all these conspiracy theories about humans did not build the pyramids because they are so grand and so complicated, and with the technology at the time, like how did they do that? This is kind of what I'm getting. You're gonna be famous for something that is so grand, so innovative, so different, so like forward thinking, that people, like when you are doing it, people will doubt that you can even do it because it's so magnific, facet and so grand. And even when you do it, when you achieve it, because you will achieve it in the future, people are going to be like almost inventing conspiracy theories because what you did was so impossible and so innovative and so forward thinking that it's even hard to conceive the fact that you did it. I'm getting a lot of innovation. Like this might be like a new technology, a new product, or like a new idea or concept that is very forward thinking, that is like light years ahead. Something that it's so different and so unique that people, like when you are doing this in this journey of making this, people will doubt that you can even make it because it's so different. You feel me? It's something that I've never seen before. Like you are taking the path less travel. Like you're not following someone else's idea. You're not following what you've been done before. You are creating something new. And when you do it, like when you finally can create it and are successful at it, you might even get a lot of awards of innovation. Also, some of you guys might be like artists, like singers. You might get awards of like artist of the year, or like you might make music with some sort of instrument that is very unique, or your music might be very unique, almost like alien, like giving rhymes. Some of you, like you're going to create something that is extremely unique, extremely innovative, extremely like, yeah, light years ahead for thinking. Some of you guys might be Aquarius here, not all. And imagine, because this is so unique and so different, you're not going to have a lot of support. Probably you are in the process of making it happen and you feel that you don't have a lot of support. And just know that just because you don't have a lot of support, like your lack of support is not the fact that your idea is not good. It's not that. It's the fact that your idea it's too good. You feel me? Like it's too innovative. It's really something really forward thinking. Like imagine we give support to the status quo. We give support to what we already know, like what they already been created, and we already prove that it works. And we don't give support to innovation to like thinking out of the box and thinking something different. But we need innovation. The innovation is the important part, right? Like doing things differently, inventing new ways of doing things, altering things to be different, like approaching things in different ways. That is what we need. We need innovation to be able to evolve, but our systems don't support that. I'm also getting a lot of education here. For example, it's like you're going to university as a scientist. And basically, university, yes, a big part of them is teaching, but it's also almost a process of indoctrination, because they are telling you there is only one way to do this, right? And when you try to like think outside a box or do things a different way, maybe do some sort of research a different way, I'm getting also a lot of like chemicals, like maybe testing different chemicals into like different, I don't know, pressures or heat, something that has never been done before. And you probably are really, people probably really tell you, don't do that because people don't do this way, people do that way. You're like, let me try to do something different just to see how things work out. Let me just try how this works in different conditions, you know? And people maybe really say to you to not do it, or because everyone does it a certain way. Like I'm getting maybe here, some of you guys might be in school, university, maybe even take a PhD, and you want to get outside of the box, but you feel like you're not supported, because basically education, yes, is teaching what humanity's learned till now, but it's kind of staying in that box of what has already been done before. It doesn't allow you much space to do some things differently, and people might even think that they project that you're a bit crazy for even trying to do things differently, when in reality, like, you are light years ahead. You are a forward thinker. You are innovator. That you are progressing humanity forward with your ideas and your innovation and your creativity, right? So imagine some of you guys might even be famous for like discovering some scientific stuff. Discovering something about science that was never been discovered before. I'm also getting mathematics. Some of you guys might be really into mathematics, and you're going to discover a formula about laws of physics or laws of the universe that was never discovered before. Others of you guys, this can be technology. You might create a product that has never created before. Others of you guys might be just an idea or philosophical thinking that has never been thought before. Other of you guys is like art that has never been done before, like singing songs with different instruments that people never played with, never used that instrument to play. I'm getting this is a very small group of you. I saw TikTok recently of a guy basically putting this instrument on a tree to hear the tree, to hear how a tree sounds or rock sounds. And some of you guys might take natural sounds of like nature, like wind or ocean or a tree, you feel me? Or a mushroom also, like everything plays sound, right? And you might get like this very, yeah, you might use sound, get sound in unconventional ways that nobody will ever think about using those sounds to make music. And you're going to make very original, creative music. So, of course, like this is a big pile. So, all of you have different ideas. But what you guys have in common is that this is something different. This is something that has never been done before. This is very foreign to a lot of people. So at the beginning, a lot of people will not believe you. At the beginning, a lot of people will doubt you and even like put a bit of obstacles in your way to achieve this, because your ideas are so innovative that people cannot even conceive it in their mind because it has never been created before. And you're going to be famous for having a very innovative idea that almost seems so grand that it almost feels like inhuman. This is like inventing a new technology, or like creating a new formula in mathematics, or finding something about physics that I never found before. And like people who create conspiracy theories, like in the future, you feel me, that you got this idea from a god or a deity that you were channeling, like that the aliens were talking to you, because it's so innovative, it's so different that it's even hard for people to understand how you come up with this. But you're going to be famous for this. You're going to be famous for creating something really innovative, really grandeur, really out of this planet, like a very innovative form of technology, like, yeah, a very innovative innovation, basically, that is going to feel almost so grand that people even have difficulties in understanding how a human could create this. And you're going to be known for a lot of people doubting you, no one believing you, but you persisted, you continue it, and you made it happen. Some of you guys I'm also getting, if some of you guys are into painting, you're going to create a new form of painting or a new style per se. You know, or there is like abstract, surrealism, all of that. I don't know, all the areas of painting. I don't even know the names for it. You might create a new genre, I guess, of painting. What you'll be famous for, number one. Imagine you're gonna be famous for also like this innovation, this thing that you're going to create is something that helps society, something that helps others. This can be a technology that helps others, like what you discover, what you invent, or what you create is going to help others. Is like something that is good for society. For example, this is not a damaging technology. This is not a technology that will create more bad than good. This is things that create more good in the world. And you're gonna be known, yeah, for creating something good for a world that helps the world and helps humanity moving forward and evolving. You're also gonna be known for being impatient. And what I'm getting by impatient here is like, again, you have this idea, super light years ahead, super innovative, and you want to make it happen now. You feel me? Like I'm getting, how to explain this? You're going to be known for wanting to create this idea in your lifetime and wanted to make it happen in your lifetime, even though this idea it's super light years ahead. This will be something, for example, many generations to come, they will look back and think that what you created is almost out of place in the technology that we have now, because you're going to create something so innovative and so many light years ahead, you feel me, so many generations ahead, that again is even hard for people to understand, like how did you come up with this, with the technology that you had in your lifetime, you feel me, like people are going to feel like your technology is so innovative that it's almost out of place with the technology that you had at the time. Again, this is giving pyramids, this is giving people trying to understand how did people like build the pyramids with the technology that they had at the time, that it was like a wheel, sticks and stones, you feel me. I don't know, probably they have more, I don't know much about how people build the pyramids, right? But this is what is giving, this is giving pyramids, this is giving you creating so innovative that future generations will even like question how did you come up with that with the technology that you had at the time, right? Because future generations are going to look to the technology that we have now, going to think that we are super far behind, right? Like phone to us and computer to us are super innovative now, even like AI stuff like that are super innovative to us now because it's new. Like in the past, people are going to think, like in the future, people are going to look at us and think we're like technologically delayed compared to them, like, you know, like every, like that's just the nature of it. But you're going to create something that is useful for generations to come and is important for generations to come. And people, yeah, like they feel like it's almost out of place. This is where when I get impatient, is that you wanted to create something in your lifetime that was like for the future, you feel me? And maybe I'm also getting that, imagine also what I mean by impatient is that some people will think that again you had a lot of difficulties creating this, no one believed you, people thought you were crazy, why you are doing this, why you're doing that, you feel me? And people like in the future are going to think like you had two options. You had the option of maybe writing this idea down and leave it for future inventors to do it, maybe writing a book or writing raw documents for to leave for future scientists or inventors or artists to do it, because like in the future, like what I'm getting here is that will be accepted better because it's so forward thinking. But you created in your generation, like you made an effort to create in your generation, even though your generation and your lifetime and the people around you did not appreciate it as they should have. While in the future, long after you're gone, generations will appreciate what you created. What you'll be famous for, number one? Yeah, for really like persevering, making it happen, making this thing happen even when nobody believed you, like overcoming all the obstacles. You'll really be known by not giving up in this idea. That again, you might have to do this alone. People might not support you. People, like, for example, if you're a scientist or even an artist, like, people will not finance you, and you are going to make it happen. Like, you're going to be known for this resilience of moving forward and pushing ahead, even with all the obstacles and all the difficulties. And also, you're going to be known like this thing of not giving up and pushing ahead, even when nobody believes it. Like, you're going to be known by being very confident. Like, you're going to be famous for your confidence because people will portray this resilience and this not giving up and this continuing, even if nobody believes in you, by confidence. They're going to think you are a very confident person and a very assured person. This will be the perception. Even if you think of you that way or not, this is how it's going to be perceived. What you'll be famous for? Number one. Yeah, you'll be famous for having a vision, having something to create, being obsessed with it, dedicating so much of your life to it, dedicating so much energy, so much of your time to this thing. You're gonna be known. I'm getting like mad scientist, you feel me? In the best way possible. Like, you're going to be known by this obsessive quality of wanting to create something, of having an idea, of not giving up, no matter how hard it became, because you were really focused on making this happen. You were really dedicated. There is like this almost obsession quality. I'm not saying that you're going to be obsessed with this, but this is what you'll be famous for. You'll be famous for almost getting obsessed with this idea, this innovation, this art, this creativity, and not giving up. Continue, continue, continue against all odds. Nobody believed you. No one supported you, but you made it happen. And you're gonna be known for for being light years ahead. Almost people are gonna question your humanity. They might create conspiracy theories like in the future about you being an alien. You feel me? Because what you created is so grand, so innovative that people are gonna even have a hard time to understand how a human with the technology and with the times that you have created this. Let me know down in the comments if you resonate with this message. If you like this video, give it a like, and if you like this content, subscribe. I do have personal readings that are super affordable, and they're my first link in the description. Bye, Paolo. Hello, Pal 2. So I chose this card that says, inspire the world around you. What you will be famous for is by being a figure of inspiration and almost this motivational figure. I think you're going to be someone that creates something very beautiful, like emotionally impactful and very inspiring. You might even be someone that didn't grow up with the best circumstances. There might be an underdog story here, that maybe you grew up poor or you grew up in a toxic household, or the beginning of your life was really difficult, and you used all of that difficulty and all that darkness to create something beautiful. That's why you're so inspirational. I think the way that you have a form of expression, you're going to be known for a form of expression. For some of you, this can be speaking, like motivational speaking, or like writing, and your writing is very inspiring and motivational and gives hope to people. Others of you, this can be dance. You might create, I'm seeing, of course, ballet, but I'm seeing like your dance might be like contemporary, and like your dance is almost performance art. Like, there is something very emotionally charged about it and emotionally beautiful. Like, your expression makes people cry. Others of you is going to be singing, where your songs are going to really, whoa, and when I connect into this, I really want to cry. Like, for those that sing, I think your songs are like very impactful, and your voice and what you say, your lyrics is so emotionally impactful, because it really shows the story of darkness, of having to struggle, having to go through difficulties, but turning it around and still be a good person and still be a decent person. And basically, also, I think you're going to be very inspirational because probably growing up, you had a lot of difficulties and you had all the reasons to be an awful person. And you're going to be inspirational in the sense of your past doesn't define you. You don't need to become your environment. You can fight against your environment and still be a decent person, still be a good person. I think you're going to inspire many generations, especially children. Like imagine children, this could be literal children, might inspire children, I don't know. This might be with your music or being an artist. But like I'm also getting the inner child of people. That's why I'm saying there is something here about your childhood. There's something about your childhood that was dark. Or you had a lot of difficulties in your childhood and now we inspire the inner child of adults. Also, some of you, not all, might have children and you're going to inspire your children, but I think also your children are going to do inspiring things. Like you're going to basically set in motion this domino effect, this butterfly effect of positive change through your inspiring, motivational, emotional expression. Because like this expressive means is very emotional, it makes people cry. I'm also seeing someone play the piano, so imagine that you guys make music, compose music. Yeah, he's very emotionally impactful, like people cry hearing it and people don't even understand why they're feeling all of these emotions, but they just feel a lot. Yeah, you have a great power and great talent to make people feel. And again, that's the thing is that you're going to be known, you're going to be famous for being a kind, wonderful, nice person. And what is inspiring about this is also you're going to be known for your past where people are not kind to you, people traumatize you. It was not easy. And you know that discourse of hurt people to kind of excuse bad behavior. Lol, just because like somebody like not all hurt people, you feel me? Like you have a choice. And I think that's why you're so inspirational. Is because you show people that it is this choice. It's not an easy choice to heal and to be a good person when no one was a good person to you. When you grew up with just awful people around you, like just traumatizing you, is not easy to break generational trauma. Is not easy to not become the people that hurt you. Is not easy to not continue the same behavior, but it's possible. There is a choice because I think you're going to really shift people's perception that it's a choice to continue generational trauma. You feel me? It's a choice to be the bad person that people were to you. Like of course that's the easier choice. The easier choice is to continue generational trauma, is to be the awful person that people were to you. That's the easier choice. That is conditioning, right? And the harder choice is to break the pattern. The harder choice is to heal and become a different person, right? And you're going to show people there is a choice. You don't need to repeat the patterns. And maybe even like some of you might be into psychology or healing, and you're going to show people and give people a step by step on how to break these patterns, or not to become basically to not let your trauma traumatize other people. You feel me? To not let your trauma change you to becoming the person that hurt you, you know? Yeah, this is very beautiful, Palo number 2, because imagine, I think when people get to know you first and you like are kind, empathetic, compassion, like a nice person, you feel me? They think, oh, you had a great childhood. Like you are like this because you grew up in privilege and people like your parents were great to you. And then when they hear your story and realize that it was the opposite, this is what is inspiring. This is what is motivational. I'm also getting here, for example, an artist that didn't grow up in a good environment, maybe grew up in poverty, maybe grew up in a bad area, you feel me? Like they did not have the best options in life to thrive, and you thrived and you got like super successful, super rich, super famous, but above all, you never lost yourself. You never lost who you are. You never lost your compassion, your empathy, your kindness to the world, to the pressures of the world. Yeah, big if you guys have kids, you're going to be known for also your kids. I think your kids are also going to be very important inspirational figures on their own. Oh my god, I'm getting like such a beautiful message, part number 2. This is really emotional. If you have kids, like your kids, whoa, they are really going to look up to you and like think you are like super mom, super dad. They are going to be so grateful for all the love that you gave them and for all the yeah, for the amazing childhood you gave to them. Like you were so kind and so empathetic. And imagine when your kids grow up and know your story, because I think your story is going to be public in some sort of way, or you just tell them, they are going to be so heartbroken to the fact that you gave them a childhood that you never had, that you gave them everything you wish you had. Like they're gonna be so heartbroken to the fact that you did not have the childhood that you gave to them. And you're gonna be such a source of inspiration also for your children, because they're gonna be so inspired to the fact that you were such a great parent when you did not have good parents, you feel me? Or you did not have good experiences when you were a kid and you gave them so many good experiences. This is very beautiful. And also, you might also be famous for your future partner or for your like love of your life, you feel me? There is something about this that I think you're probably gonna have like a very healthy love of your life. Like you're gonna probably have a very good love story, very healthy life story, like a healthy partner. I think you're gonna show people what love looks like and how healthy love looks like to people. And I think you're gonna also be inspiring by your relationship, because you're gonna have a very healthy relationship with your partner, with yourself, and your kids. I think you're gonna show people what healthy family looks like. What you'll be famous for? Round number 2. Yeah, I think you're also gonna be famous for taking leaps of faith, taking risks. And again, I'm getting there here this underdog backstory where things were not easy, and maybe you had to take a lot of risks in life, things that you did not know how it was going to work out. Maybe even like leave countries, leave cities, leave places, leave people, leave things behind, and take a lot of risks that you had no idea how they're going to work out. And you took a lot of leaps of faith and you tried a lot of different things, and you kept on trying, you kept on taking risks, even without much security, even without you knowing how is it going to work out if I move to this country, how is it going to work out if I pursue this. Like, I think you're going to even be famous for by the sense of destiny. Like your life seems destined because you took a lot of illogical leaps of faith that were meant to be. Like when you are doing them, it feels completely logical and you don't know, but you feel like you have to go this place, that you have moved countries, that you have moved cities, like you feel called to do something, right? To go this place and you're going to be at the right time. Like your life as a whole gonna seem destined because of how everything work out perfectly. But when you are living it, it does not seem like it. It seems like you're just like taking risks, a leap of faith, and praying for the best, really, and praying, please let me survive. You feel me? And I think you're gonna also tell a lot of stories of, I just felt drawn to do this, I felt pulled to do this, and I did it. And like at the end of a life, you're gonna look back and understand how much it made sense. And people will see this as well. Your life is gonna feel almost destined. I think you're gonna have also this fame of being like almost this spiritual, not spiritual per se, but like someone that is almost seems guided by God. You feel me? Depends. Some people will see it as spiritually, other people are gonna see it as maybe more like guided by God. Like there's something very destiny-like about your life. There's something very magical about your life, and you're gonna be famous for this. What you'll be famous for? Number two. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna be famous for having struggled a lot. Also, you might even be famous for, imagine, having a lot of fear, having a lot of anxiety, having a lot of worries, and still doing the thing. I think you're going to be known for, is not that you lacked fear in taking these risks or taking this leap of faith. It's not that. It's not that you weren't scared because you were. It's not that you weren't anxious to step on that stage because you were. It's not that you were immune to feelings. It's because you did them anyway. You did it scared. You feel me? And this is very inspiring. It's going to be very inspiring to people to understand that like bravery is not the absence of fear. Bravery is your capacity to feel fear, right? And I think you're going to teach them this, that feeling fear is normal, being anxious is normal, being worried super normal. What matters here is that you take that leap of faith, you take that risk even scared. And I think you're going to really show people this for your story. Like, I was super scared of doing this. And I did it, super scared. There were many things that I was worried about. There are many things I was anxious about, but it worked out in my favor. You feel me? I think in the way that you're going to tell stories, you're going to show both sides. How you felt at the time, super scared, you didn't know, you took a lot of risks without parachute, you feel me? You took a lot of leap of faith without a safety net. You had no idea how things were going to work out. You were trembling in your boots, you feel me? But you did it. It worked out. And it worked out in your favor. You think, if you feel me? Like, I think you want to show the fact that you were scared, but at the same time you did the thing and it worked out in your favor. And this is very inspirational, because you're not going to be the ones that deny emotion. You're not going to be that figure that is like, oh, I was scared, I was brave. You need to be brave, you need to be confident, you need to be this and that. No, you're going to be an inspirational figure, more of like, I was scared, I'm human, I'm imperfect, I have anxiety, I have worries, I have a lot of things going on. But I still took the leap of faith. I still did it. And it indeed worked out in my favor. And this is going to be very inspirational about you. Even like for you guys, that was the example of being singers. I think you're going to sing a lot about this. I think your songs have this vibe of negative positive, you feel me? Like, yes, this vibe of your emotions, being scared, being worried, a lot of trauma, but also like grateful for everything that happened, grateful things turned out, like you made it. I think you have that duality of dark and light, negative and positive. And also, like, in the way that you speak, if this is public speaking, you got to show both sides. You got to show your fear, and you got to show that it works out. What you'll be famous for, number two? Okay, Palto. We have here the world, that is literally a fame card. So you're literally going to be famous, okay, Palto? Like famous, probably like very famous. A-lister type vibe. This is maximum fame. Probably some of you even going to be icons, like famous for generations, you feel me? And also, imagine, you're going to be famous for being alone, not in the sense of, imagine, you're not going to be alone, you're going to find the love of your life, you're going to have kids, most of you probably, but you're going to be known by, for example, when you share your story, you're talking like about yourself in first person, like even in songs, for example. I think you'll be someone that will sing songs more about first person perspective than, for example, love songs about someone. You feel me? Like, I think your expression is very single and individual. I'm getting Leo here. You're going to really embody that Leo quality. For example, if you were a singer, you're not in the band, you're the main, like you're a lead singer. If you're public speaking, you were like alone in that stage, you're going to be known for doing things alone. It's not that you are alone, but what you'll be famous for, you are alone. For example, you might have this loving relationship that you may be, like, some people know, but you don't showcase that loving relationship that much. You're actually quite private about it. Okay, some people know, It's not that you can hide it, especially if you're famous, but you will not be someone that will be famous and always showcasing their partner. No, like your fame is very individual, it's very to you. You're gonna be famous like alone in that sense, you know. You're not in a band, you are like just a singer, like alone. Even if you are a dancer, you don't do in a group, like you are dancing alone, you know. You'll be famous for your individual art form and for your individual expression and for your individual story. Let me know down in the comments if you resonate with this message. If you like this reading, give it a like. And if you like this content, subscribe. I do a personal readings. They are super affordable. And then my first link in description. Bye, pile one. Hello, pile free. So it shows this card that says, your time flies, and it came in reverse. What you will be famous for is by your creations, your creativity, your art, what you're going to create and be famous for it, right? That it took a long time. You're going to be famous for not rushing, for maybe I'm getting here even some artists that painted for years but never showed their paintings, and like later in life they do a gallery like in their 50s, you feel me, and they show their painting and people love it and they're like, what? Where have you been hiding all of this time? I think you're going to be famous like later in life for something that you have been doing for quite a while, but maybe you didn't show people. Maybe some of you guys are going to be famous for an art piece that took years to build. Maybe a painting that is like a big ass painting, you feel me? Took years, like 10 years, something, you feel me, to build. Or even like a dress, a clothes, like an art piece, something creative that took a long time to build. And you're going to be famous for being a discovered artist later in life and being undiscovered most of your life. I'm even getting some of you might be writers, and imagine it's like writing a bunch of books, never publishing them. And later in life, or even when you are gone, people find your books, and then you become a famous writer. You feel me? Like this is about your creativity taking a long time to be discovered, or even your creativity, like your art form, taking a long time to be made. You're gonna be known for, gonna be famous for someone that did not necessarily want to be famous. You're gonna be famous for a creative at heart, that you did not necessarily was looking for the prestige, the money. It was not that. Like you did not create for, yeah, the prestige or the fame. No, you created for enjoyment, for artistic enjoyment. Like you created for coming from your art, you know. And that's very beautiful. I think actually people are going to value the fact that you are not in a rush to be famous, basically not in rush to get recognized. I think people are really going to like this about you, and are going to like this about your story, because they're going to feel like you're not creating by the approval of others, you're not creating by the prestige, you're not creating by the money. You created because of your passion. I think, yeah, you're going to be famous for your passion. That you're going to even be famous by this person that was an artist that, imagine, had a lot of passion for art, never liked the spotlight, was a very nice, calm person, you feel me? Like, not bougie, not arrogant, none of that. Like you're gonna be known for being like a good person for many years, and many people are gonna really appreciate this about you. This is a part of your fame that they really like, is the fact that you didn't want to be recognized, you feel me? And this can be really something that, or you're gonna be famous after, like when you are older and you're gonna finally show your art or publish your paintings or your books, you feel me? Or your articles. I'm also getting a lot of collages. Or this could even be you never publish them, and after you are gone somebody finds them in their house. I'm seeing this dark room full of paintings that are even like a person after you are gone like finds your paintings, or even maybe like you eat your paintings in your house, or you eat your art in your house, or you eat your unpublished books in your house, and somebody buys your house and somebody finds your art. Like I think your art Or it's gonna be you. Some of you, like, it's gonna be you that's gonna publish it when you are older, and you're like, yeah, I wrote this book when I was 20. I made this painting when I was 30, and you're already 50. You feel me? Or you're gonna show your art when you are older, or it's gonna be found randomly. There was this writer, I forget her name, but it basically was this woman, and some of you might know. I forget her name completely. Yeah, basically there was this woman that wrote a lot of books but never published them. And after she was gone, they found all of the books and they were shocked to the fact that this woman was such a good writer that wrote so many books. This is what I'm getting. You feel me? Like someone that created for the sake of creation, that created because they enjoyed creation. They were never looking for the fame, for the prestige, for the money. You're just looking to create, and that people are gonna love this about you. And I think you're gonna be famous for generations. Probably really that artist that maybe was never recognized in their lifetime, they never wanted to be recognized. And again, do not create for approval of others or for fame or for money. They just created coming from the art, like a very art-centered creations. What you'll be famous for? The world card is a fame card. I think you're gonna be very famous. Probably for generations to come, probably after you're gone, you're going to be very, very famous. You're going to be an icon of your art form. Again, if you paint, you're going to be an icon. On the painters are getting a lot of Van Gogh. How Van Gogh was not appreciated during his lifetime. I think he was Van Gogh. I think it was also, I think I know, like, as a crazy person, you feel me? And like people really appreciated his art after his passing. Yeah, I'm getting, even like if it's writers, you're going to be an iconic writer. That some of you might have like novels that are very. I'm getting the novels that you read in school. You know, those iconic novels that the education system, yeah, that you read in school because they are so iconic. Yeah, iconography, a lot of iconic energy. Very famous. Like you gotta be a trendsetter in some sort of field and some sort of master or expert in a sort of field, artistic field that you like to create in. What you'll be famous for, Pamela Free? Hello. So many fame cards. Wheel of Fortune also consider a fame card. From all of the piles, Free, this is the one that is going to be the most famous. Like this is maximum fame. What? Okay. Yeah, I think something about you becoming famous, it's very destiny. It's very random. It's very out of the sudden. It feels destined almost. I think also your creations, they feel inspired by gods. Like they feel like ideas from like this spiritual being or this god. Like these are something that is very creative. Like your ideas are very unique and very creative, and almost like I'm getting even like mythology and like these metaphors for human condition and human existence. Yeah, it's gonna feel like you're even channeling. Your art is gonna feel like almost a channel from something very. Yeah, it seems like you are getting ideas from like a god or some spiritual being because of how, yeah, magnific your art is. It's like a trendsetter. It's like creating a new trend or a new field or a new category that you'll be famous for. Yeah, I think you're going to be super famous by your, again, is this inner child? Because I think your creations are very based in your inner child. Again, you're not looking for prestige, you're not looking for fame. You are creating because you like to create and it's fun and it's like this inner child vibe to it. I think you also are going to be known for having an unconventional home life, maybe whether unconventional relationships, maybe the home that you lived was unconventional, was like unique. This could be a cabin in the woods, you feel me, or a van. like your home base and where you lived and where you stayed is unconventional. And also imagine you're also going to be known by like inventing a new field within art. You feel me? Like creating a new trend within art and doing a lot of that trend. Like it's like you created this new way to make clothes or this new way of painting, and you're gonna make a lot of that new way of painting or even writing. It's like you create this like novel or like this story or this way of writing, and you're gonna do a lot of similar things about that. It's like your art is very this specific thing that you created and you make a lot out of it. It's giving, like abstract artists, they make abstract art, even though the paintings are different, it's about abstract art, or even like writers, they write about like, if it's a novel, they write a lot of novels, you're going to create a lot of things in the area that you start exploring and start creating a trend about it. And you're going to create a lot of things in that similar trend of like way of expressing this art, and you have got a lot, you're gonna have a lot of work in that specific field or art form, like almost like a subsidiary of art is like a subcategory almost, because you're gonna create this subcategory inspiring other things, but it's like a new category of creating some sort of art. What will you be famous for? File number 3. Yeah, like the high priestess. I'm also like going back to like channeling gods or channeling spiritual things. Like you are giving like, like religious texts like the Bible. They are like metaphorically, or like mythology is like metaphors. They are channeling like human condition, and they are basically creating archetypes to human condition and to the life experience, or like to the history of the world. This is what I'm getting. Like I'm getting almost these religious texts or religious art, something, and it doesn't need to be religious like in existing religion, but it gives the vibe of channeling something like higher being. Like your art is kind of channeling an higher being, and you kind of portraying messages of the meaning of life, the purpose of life. This is really hard to put into words, but it's like mythology. You feel me? Like using art form. I'm also seeing a lot of paintings like in religion. The angels and the history of Mary, like this is what I'm getting. You are, and again, this is not boxed to a specific religion. I don't think this is even attached to any religions, but it's like you creating art to express this bigger meaning of life, I guess. It's like you are channeling what's the meaning of life and what we are here and what happens when we pass away. Like this is what I'm getting. Like your art is channeling this also almost mythology. Some of you guys might do art with like mythology, like Greek mythology, Roman mythology, like old deities. I'm also getting a lot of African deities, like back in the past, also tribal deities. That's what I'm getting, that type of art that is like mythological, godlike, spiritual, religious. Also going to be known for having a great connection with something bigger. Again, I think your art is portraying this bigger thing, and you're going to be known for almost being connected to it and for almost being a vehicle of messages of this bigger entity, this bigger like spiritual entity. Let me know down in the comments if you resonate with this message. If you like this reading, give it a like, and if you like this content, subscribe. I do have personal readings, they are super affordable, and then my first link in the description. Bye bye free.